Hi, I'm Lizi. I'm part of Baltic Crew and this is Mounira Al Solh's exhibition, A Day is as Long as a Year. Mounira is a Lebanese artist with Syrian heritage. She currently lives in the Netherlands but grew up during the Lebanese Civil War from 1978 to 1990. Her art tells her own and other women's stories from the Middle East and worldwide. It explores themes of sorrow, loss, mourning, migration and oppression alongside hope, community, female solidarity and empowerment. This exhibition is a space to learn about women's stories from now and recent history, but also to learn about stories of different women that have been forgotten about from history. Through Mounira's own personal experience of living through a war that has never been acknowledged, she realised that it is really important to make records of stories from those times, and it becomes a backdrop of this whole exhibition. The next piece I'm going to talk about is I Strongly Believe in a Right to be Frivolous. Originally, Mounira didn't want to talk about war in her art. However, during these complex times, she read an interview with the famous Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish, in which he stated the Palestinian cannot just be defined as a terrorist or freedom fighter. Therefore, I very seriously advocate our right to be frivolous. I strongly believe in our right to be frivolous. Palestinian civil war wasn't documented like the newer wars with iPhones and digital cameras. So during these times, Mounira took it on herself to document and make records of all the stories from the war that she had experienced and ongoing. Mounira met lots of women in different refugee camps and communities from all over the Middle East. So she decided here to draw pictures of them and get their stories. And she wrote these on legal documents to show the fragility of what it takes to escape war and move to a new country. The women that she had met from all over the world, ranging from Lebanon to the Netherlands, all the way here in Gateshead at Baltic, have all experienced escaping war and becoming refugees or people seeking asylum. Mounira normally draws portraits of women, but in this one specific time she met an Iranian woman which was only happy to have her hands drawn because she was terrified of being recognised. One aspect of this piece that I really enjoy is that no matter where the women come from, they all have different personalities, from intellectual to mothers, but every single one of them wanted to look younger in the drawings. During some time in Athens, Mounira discovered the nuptial tent, in which she fell in love with. A nuptial tent is a tent that is created for the night of the wedding by a community of people, of women that all get together and they spend years and years embroidering and making this tent for the night of the wedding. So once she discovered that, she began some deep research in creating other tents. This is where she says she caught tent syndrome, which is the love of researching and making her own tents. The tent we see in the background is the Iranian ceremonial tent. The Iranian ceremonial tent is called the Mohammed Shah tent. During this period, these were royal tents which were potent symbols of authority, wealth and power throughout the greater Middle East. In contrast to this, royal tents from Iran are extremely rare. The spectacular ceremonial tent is embroidered with the name of its owner, Mohammed Shah, who ruled Iran from 1834 to 1843. She really wanted to make a tent more faithful to the original tent. The top part of the tent is made from a group of women from Lebanon, and the side panels are made from 3 different groups of women that she met in the Netherlands. They were from Iran, Afghanistan, Turkey and the Netherlands. And she's paid all of the 31 women that have helped create it. This tent is a continuation about stories of migration and mourning and sorrow. Mounira wanted to talk about mourning, but the mourning that everybody faces, specifically because this tent was created during the pandemic and coronavirus, but also the Beirut blast on August the 4th in 2020. Within this space, she's met different women escaping war and refugees, and they have told their stories and what their experiences were during those times. Even though this space is about mourning and sadness and loss, she's quite keen to bring happiness into this space for contrast. So she was really interested in Arabic words, old Arabic words of happiness and sadness, and these have been embroidered by her all around the sides of the tents. Also within the space of the tent, there are names of all the different women that have worked on this tent with her. In this space, there is recordings of women speaking Arabic words of happiness and sadness, but also you will hear beautiful singing of songs of mourning and sorrow, which were chosen by the singers themselves of their favourite songs of mourning. This tent really shows a sense of community from all different women from around the world. And what I love about it is, even though they've all been through so much hardship, it's also a place of empowerment and joy whilst they're in here together.